Do we have great content? We don't. Do we have content like we used to have back a few years back? No, we don't. But we did go through a pandemic. As a nation, we are lost. And makers are also human beings only. वो वही दिमाग से सोचते हैं, वही जिंदगी जीते हैं. सुबह उठो, ये करो, काम पे जाओ, पैसे बनाओ, घर आओ. You got to clean it up, guys. It's our house.
There are going to be a few people who will be like, do you really want to do this? Especially because it may come out tacky. It may not be what you imagine it to be. And many times in life, things don't work out the way you imagine them to. Very cute reasons to stay home.
And rightly so.
I do not want to ever be in that situation where I'm like, why am I not somewhere else right now? Why am I not at home? Why am I not doing something else with my time?
And that's the first thing I knew when I wanted to be an actor, is that I was mad about it. And I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I remember when I was cast, they told me, Diwakar said, ये picture release नहीं होगी. मजे के लिए करना है तो कर लो.
Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. Well, if you like horror and if you liked Chhorii, then here Chhorii 2 is here to sort of leave you intrigued because the trailer was just out and I watched it and loved it, and I have the cast and the crew join me here only on India Today. Vikram sir, Nushrratt, Soha and Vishal. Firstly, a huge welcome to India Today. I have to say, like I said, I watched the trailer. I was intrigued by it because the subject hits home. I think everyone has at least heard this a couple of times at their places, right? Like at their home, for sure. But Vishal, because you are at the helm of it, and this is a story essentially about how, I mean, of course, horror is a huge aspect of it, but also the story is about how this one king who wanted a boy child and the girls, I mean, it is a lot to do with the gender and the discrimination there. To have someone like you there, tell it from a gaze, which is essentially telling a story about women or their plight, but from a male gaze. I just want to understand, how do you balance that out? Because, you know, it's a huge task on your end to be able to do justice to that.
Right. See, it is a male gaze. It is my angst and my rage to what is happening around, because I feel it's just so unjust, and when will we grow out of it, right? I mean, it's enough, right? So it definitely is there. And then when I speak to women or when I look at their condition around, I'll give you a simple example. When we were doing Chhorii, I had a neighbor, and I stay in a decently, you can say, educated, maybe a little upper class kind of a society. And my neighbor, their daughter came back. She was thrown out of her married life and she came back because she conceived a girl child. It has happened in today's day and time. I'm not kidding, you know. Now imagine, that's the horror, right? So I mean, we are done with all this, and I mean, what's the point? Why are we doing all this, right? So I was really very angry. And then you are helpless also, because how can you fight this out, right? So for an artist, for a maker, the only way is to fight it through telling that story and use their own expertise in their craft to tell that story. And this is the journey of Chhorii 2, you can say. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you actually said that, because that's correct. Like, sometimes people feel that, oh, if you're literate enough, things don't happen in educated houses.
That's not true at all.
Not at all.
That's actually not true, because I've seen so many educated people still believe in this system.
I would probably say it's the other way around. Probably the more richer you are, the more high the legacy. If you have to save the legacy, you need a male child.
You have to keep the name of the family going, because if you have daughters, then they marry, and then you don't have the family name.
Goes into the other family.
Oh my God, I know what you're saying. That's why it intrigued me so much at the trailer level itself. But Soha, you know, you don't do too many movies. That's a complaint from my side. But also, that actually makes me curious that if you wanted to be a part of Chhorii 2, there has to be a reason.
I want to say that my motivation to do the film is not necessarily to promote a cause. Because I do, of course, believe in the cause. But I do feel the purpose of making a film is entertainment primarily. And if through primarily entertaining someone, that doesn't mean entertainment instead of ha ha ha. You mean you absorb them. You forget who you are for those couple of hours, and you get immersed into a different world. So if you achieve that, and if somehow by some brilliance you can also seed a message, which is your vision, your story, your agenda as a director or a writer, then that is the best. Because I know, as a mother, when I ask my child, what is your favorite class, and she says art, because I'm not learning anything. And you know, when you're not aware that you're learning and you actually come away growing as a person. That's the best form of education.
Yeah.
Which is why cinema is so powerful. But my motivation in actor is to
To
perform,
entertain. Yeah.
is to like make a mark, is to be impactful, is to have people notice you and say, wow, you know, she's a good performer.
Yeah.
That generally is why you're performing. And I know in this role, in this avatar, I got an opportunity that I haven't had in my whole career, and I may not have again. You know, so I jumped at that opportunity to play a negative character, to play an antagonist, to be visually presented the way that Dasima is in so many different avatars. I was like, I'm on this, you know, don't go to anyone else. I'm going to look shocked for a while. It's going to take me some time. There are going to be a few people who will be like, do you really want to do this? Especially because it may come out tacky. It may not be what you imagine it to be.
Yeah.
And many times in life, things don't work out the way you imagine them to. And at the end of the day, you're a tool. You're an instrument in other people's hands.
Yeah.
So there's an element of trust. But I'm so happy and relieved that it's turned out wonderfully.
Yeah.
You know, it's I'm so proud to be a part of this film. I was a huge fan of Chhorii. And I'm so happy that you made part 2 and that you conceived of this character and you guys came to the right place.
Oh, yay!
More people should find that address because I feel that we miss watching you on screen.
Yeah, I can do a lot more. By the way, I can do a lot more.
Her concern was that when you put me in the prosthetic makeup and when that poster is put right in front of my house, I should still look
I said, can I still give my right profile?
So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that poster to be put outside your house and you send me a picture saying that okay, this works.
They were planning one on BKC on the highway, which is just on my daughter's way to school. Which is great.
Proud of what my mother did.
No, but I think when I watched the trailer, that scene where you really like let go, I think it really stands out for me. And that's when I'm like, why don't we see Soha too much on screen? Like we miss her. That's the moment.
As I told
when
you
saw
off
me,
screen,
like,
it's because there's so many very cute reasons to stay home.
and rightly so.
I do not want to ever be in that situation where I'm like, why am I not somewhere
At
else
home?
right now?
Yeah.
Why am I not at home? Why am I not doing something else with my time? And you know, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, on this set, I was fully immersed. It was so much fun to be a part of this film.
I'm so happy to hear that. Nushrratt, I feel like you are taking chances, which no one else is. And I call it chances because I don't see many people like, you know, come out of their comfort zone and try different things.
Come out of your comfort zone.
No, because I mean, for the longest time, because I think for the longest time, for Nushrratt, that image of Panchnama kind of like stuck. But then she went all out and she's like, listen, I'm not going to be boxed. And I really want to congratulate because I know it's difficult to be able to do that, especially when you have already been labeled as this commercial heroine, right? It's difficult to walk out of that label and try different things. One, that conviction, where does that come from? And secondly, with Chhorii too, of course, I've not seen the film as yet. But the trailer tells me that your character has to go through a lot of emotional upheavals, right? Just to be in and out of that, because I mean, you are not a mother in real life. You don't identify with that character in that sense. Is it difficult to sort of step into it and then come out and go in? Because I just find it very difficult to imagine.
So the first question, ka answer. Honestly, I would like to, I mean, I'm very happy to intellectualize my life and choices, but I'm just going to be honest and say it's not conviction, it's madness. And that's the first thing I knew when I wanted to be an actor, is that I was mad about it. I was mad about wanting to be on set. I remember I was doing a play when I was in school, and it was a play always has a lot of characters, yeah. And in that play, even a stone was played by a boy who was behaving like a stone and talking like a stone. And every single day of rehearsals, I would want to play every different character. I would go to the director and say, today can I play the stone? And he'll be like, no, but you have your character. I'm like, yeah, I know, but just today, as rehearsal, can I be a stone? He said, okay. The next day I would be like, can I play the harmonium or the sitar? I mean, and every day the director would be like, what is wrong with her? We are done with casting. Is she like fetching for more roles? So he would come to me and say, I am not casting you in any other part. And I said, I don't want to be cast. I just want to do it so that I have done it. So I think वो beginning से ही था, तभी I think मैं actor बन पाई. और तभी चलो ठीक है, it's very, I mean, I get that there's a commercial heroine tag to it, but honestly, if you look at it, there was nobody wanting to do Panchnama.
Yeah.
Remember?
There was no actress then who was willing to go.
LSD.
Yeah, LSD.
Yeah.
LSD was tough. I remember when I was cast, they told me, Diwakar said, ये picture release नहीं होगी, मजे के लिए करना है तो कर लो. तो I'm like, अच्छा, because उसमें इतनी कुछ चीजें थी जो उस वक्त समझ नहीं आया. I was a kid then.
True.
Is later I understood how sensitive and how I mean off the rocker that film was.
True.
But it did well. No one wanted to do Panchnama. I remember my whole team of Panchnama. They said, किसको cast करें? क्योंकि the girls are the butt of all jokes.
Yeah.
Women don't want to do this kind of part. They want to play heroine parts. And I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
True.
And I think every choice of mine has been that. It just comes from some passion, some madness of wanting to do it.
Yeah.
I guess most of it is because I don't judge myself. I
Okay.
think it comes from that. It's not conviction really. It's I don't judge myself. I'm not going to think मैं कैसी दिखूंगी ये करते हुए या मैं कैसी लगूंगी ऐसे करते हुए.
Okay.
मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता यार. I don't know क्यों नहीं पड़ता कि कहाँ से आता है फिर. मुझे no ही idea है.
But I think that's
कुछ तो
the
खाया पिया
best
होगा माँ
part,
बाप ने मेरे.
that you don't know where it is coming
don't
from,
know
because
where it's
once you know, then you'll be conscious about
That's true. So I'm actually happy. I don't want to
it. Yeah.
go there. Mother. In the first part, Vishal sir and me, and I hope, I don't know, Vikram sir was worried कि कैसे करेगी, I don't know. But we both were very worried. How am I going to play a 8-month-old pregnant woman when I have no idea of what that emotion is, or the pain is, or the turmoils are, what you do on every basis. I don't know. So we worked a lot on that. I wore a belly for a month before the shoot and through the whole month, where I couldn't go to the bathroom. I really couldn't pee because we had that whole thing. So it started from there, I think, and I want to put myself in the fire. I want to actually put myself in those shoes. But you're right. I think the toughest part for me in Chhorii 2 was to have that emotion of mother and child.
Yeah.
Now she's not in my stomach. Now she's outside and she's in front of me, and she's not actually my child, but she has to be my child. And that was the toughest part for me. So those scenes I still hold very close to my heart. I'm going to be very scared and vulnerable when the rest of the mothers of the world watch it, because
But this
agar-
mother's seen it, and you know, I'm just saying. No, really, and you're seeing the emotional trauma. I was worried about the physical trauma. This this child, this woman has gone through. This child has gone through. Like really, the stuff that having seen the film.
Yeah.
What if they've patcoed her and whipped her?
Yeah, I saw that
and
one
No, no,
scene
but
in the
we were
trailer
not going to
where
do so much.
everyone is like putting her
Yeah.
इसको drown कर रहे हैं, and
and I can't. I'm very scared of water. I can't swim.
like
But
I've
my-
just seen that
for me,
glimpse.
it was
मैं
the
तो गई
whipping.
थी.
Yeah.
The whipping was intense.
Yeah.
हाँ चाबुक पड़े मुझे
No,
real.
it's not. It's not.
Actual चाबुक पड़े.
But now Chhorii is her comfort zone. So she's not out of her comfort. She's very much in her comfort zone.
He is just prepping me for part 3 now. Anju, say it.
So
She
have
asked
we
for it.
announced
कि इतना ही कर रहे हो,
part
ये
three
इतना
as
ऐसे
well?
थोड़ी होता है.
No, but we like this comfort zone then, because within that also she's challenging herself, and I think that is an amazing thing for all of you actually, because from Chhorii to Chhorii 2 there's a stark difference in terms of storytelling, and I think I really need to congratulate
Thank
the
you,
team
yeah.
for that.
Thank you so
But
much.
again, like she said, there's a sense of madness when you come as an artist. You need to have some sort of that thing to be able to do things which no one else does. You have been doing that with the projects that you are sort of greenlighting, because I mean, how many people in the industry can say that they have greenlit projects which you have with the conviction? I will call it conviction, you can call it madness. It's either or. But again,
You call it good economics. You say I'm doing it for the money.
again, economics is not my strong forte, so again, you can educate me on that. But tell me, I mean, where does that for you come from? Because I know, again, you are in the other side, so you might have a different opinion. From where I see though, I see a lot of chatter where people are not ready to take up or at least greenlit these kind of projects, because there's always commerce involved. There's always this cynicism whether or not it will take off. How do you manage all those expectations?
It's super fun to question all of that and to beat all of that, just because it is conviction. These are conventional beliefs that are created by insecure minds that do not want to question the status quo. And most importantly, minds, films, shows that do not credit the intelligence of our audience. we need to understand that our audience has smartened, matured way faster and way more than we have as creators.
Yeah.
Until and unless we give that respect that's due, we will continue doing more of the same, and more of the same will fail more and more.
Yeah.
I've always believed that differentiated storytelling, clutter breaking storytelling is the one that resonates and stays for the long time. Do we get it right every time? Absolutely not. Is there a belief that if you do different things, they find their audience in a bigger manner, deliver better economics? Absolutely. That's evident in our filmography, and Chhorii 2 are shining examples of that thought process. It's not madness for us. It's a blend of conviction, it's a blend of courage, it's a blend of the team that stands with me, the fact that we work with gifted storytellers, and that ambition is met with people like Nushrratt and Soha who come out and support these brave choices and allow us to do what we do.
Absolutely. I also need to ask you this because
I have to say something to what he says, because I strongly believe that a script like Chhorii 2 would not have happened if not for him, because he, from the first film itself, I mean, after I made Lappa Chappi, which was a Marathi film, and when a lot of people were calling me and asking me, would you want to do a Hindi remake, this, that, you know, I saw that everyone out there was out to make a quick buck. कि छोटी सी फिल्म है, एक लोकेशन में है, तो गाने डाल देंगे, ये कर देंगे, quick money, जट मंगनी पट गया, will be out of it, right? But I did not want to do that, because I had a much larger, longer vision. And when he called me and when we met, the talk was not about just that one film. It was about a whole journey of horror which we would take together, and that needed conviction. And then he has been a veteran in the industry, taken incredible films and made them successful.
Yeah.
So I knew that when that marriage happens, where there is a producer who is convinced about this story and wants to take the journey, and then he knows his commerce, it really is a winning combination.
Absolutely.
And Chhorii 2 is a film which I don't think anybody in this industry would have greenlit but for him. I can vouch for it.
It's very kind.
No, that is why. I mean, I know that he says that it is, I mean, I don't know why people are not doing it, but trust me, people are genuinely not doing it. It takes courage for people like you to be able to greenlit a project like this. So thank you for doing that, because
Thank you for saying that.
I like seeing women in strong positions, strong roles. But again, I'm sorry, but I have to bring gender here because I don't see that enough, at least in our cinema.
No, please do. We're
I'm
happy to talk about it.
I am happy that these small changes are happening, but is it also a conscious choice from your end? I don't know if it is something that happens organically or is it something that you do consciously, but I see a lot of representation, at least in your cinema, that you back. Is it something that comes from a place of consciousness, or is it something that comes naturally?
I think it's a combination of the world around you. I've grown up and continue to exist in a world that's surrounded by very strong women, both at home and at work, work associates, people that inhabit the ecosystem that I belong to. You learn a lot from that, and you bring that into your perspective of the kind of work that you want to back and the kind of work that you want to share with the audience as a whole. We don't go out looking for films that have women in the lead. We are always open. Our sensibility is such that we appreciate such work.
Yeah.
But over a period of time, such stories and such storytellers find us as well. So we are in an extremely advantageous position, having built this filmography, having built this credibility as Abundancia. And it would be incomplete if I don't call out people who support us in this journey. I spoke about how a filmmaker, a writer, a director, their teams, actors come together to do this.
Yeah.
But then there's also strong supporting partners like Amazon Prime Video and T-Series who are like, we get this vision, we understand there's an audience, we'll do our best to help all of you do what you need to.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chhorii in 2021 on Prime Video went out to so many countries in such an impactful manner, it was put out with such an aggressive campaign, and the fact that they were amongst the first people to support the vision of Chhorii 2 and now we're sitting here. This entire ecosystem goes around enabling us to do what we do. It cannot be done by one person sitting alone and saying, I want to change the world.
Absolutely. Now, because I don't have a lot of time, I want to ask that, I think there is a sense of fatigue when it comes to the kind of content that is being made in the industry, in Indian cinema per se. I want to know your opinion on it, because as an audience, at least I can say that I do sense a void. I feel like there is a distance somewhere, like between filmmakers I've grown up watching, like their films, versus what is being made right now. As people who are in the industry, who are seeing this change, what are your viewpoints on it? Where are we as an industry at that point?
I think I get what you're saying, and I also come from a very like an audience. I think like an audience because I go to a theatre to consume a film like an audience. But you have to think of a lot of other factors that have kind of played a part. Do we have great content? We don't. Do we have content like we used to have back a few years back? No, we don't. But we did go through a pandemic. We did go through a situation where nobody knows what to really do. Kare kya? इससे निकले कैसे? And I don't just mean in terms of काम कैसे करें. I feel like as a nation on a whole, have we really recovered from the trauma of it? Have we really gotten out of it? So what, like अब कल हम बीमार है तो हमें पता है ना दवाई कौन सी खानी है तो ठीक हो जाएंगे. अब हमें पता ही नहीं हमें कौन सी पिक्चर से वो फीलिंग आएगी, वो ठीक होगा. What is it that's going to stick? What is it that's not going to stick? I feel we don't know the audience right now. The makers don't know it. They don't know it. They're struggling. Do they not want to make films? Of course, everybody wants to go to work. But what is working with the audience is there's no clarity in that. Because we have not understood only what have we gone through in the pandemic. Have we gone through a lot of trauma? So we want to watch only comedy, fluffy, supernatural, out of our reality films. We don't want to know our reality. What is the psyche? Are we getting that? We're not getting that. And uske upar, usi lockdown ke 2 saal mein, 3 saal mein, we have seen social media platforms go berserk. And what is on social media platforms? It's pretense. Nobody's actually sitting there and crying and telling you what are they going through. Even a person who might not know where the next meal is coming from is making a dance reel for you, is making a makeup reel for you, is telling you how this product is good to use. That person, him or her, is also not putting out his own reality because he wants to escape his reality. तो हमें समझ कैसे आएगा कि ऑडियंस ऑन होल को पसंद क्या आने वाला है? क्या हम उनको रियलिज्म दिखाएं? नहीं. क्या हम उनको हंसाए सिर्फ? कब तक? क्या हम उनको स्केयर करें? क्या करें क्या? तो I think I feel like an industry as a whole, we are not able to identify what is going to actually be working. And by that I mean you can have people who are purists who say that I want to make this film because I believe in it. Great, I'm very happy to support you. Let's do it. Tell me, guys, there's no budget. Let's do it. Happy to do it. But वो release भी होनी चाहिए. वो आनी भी चाहिए. Shoot करके डब्बे में पड़ी रहेंगी तो point क्या है? So there is an economics to it, and I think that is why we are not able to see great content. Because we don't have a mix of it, and we don't have a result of it. थोड़ा भी result एक दो पिक्चरों से आ जाता है तो मिल जाता है हमें वापस कि अरे ये पिक्चर, we can do something like this. But फिर सब वही पिक्चर बनाने लग जाते हैं.
True.
तो what I'm sensing is we are lost. As a nation we are lost, and makers are also human beings only. वो वही दिमाग से सोचते हैं, वही जिंदगी जीते हैं. सुबह उठो, ये करो, काम पे जाओ, पैसे बनाओ, घर आओ. तो everybody is from the same milieu. तो वक्त लगेगा I think, and brave choices लगेगी और कहानियाँ लगेंगी for us to come back on track, but we have to do it together. We have to do it being one. Own it. It's our mess. We got to clean it up, guys. It's our house.
Couldn't have said it better. I think it is our mess and we need to clean it up and just get back on our
I think the problem is people लोग project बना रहे हैं कि project बनाना है इसमें who are the popular people, who's trending on Instagram, I know casting is working like that now, who has the most followers on Instagram is the basis for casting. Like being able to perform in craft is the way down the list. So I think when people are true to themselves, when there's some originality, when they're being ingenious about something, then if you give them a good story, we've seen time and time again, people will go to the cinema and people will watch that film.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think one of the big reasons is that everybody or most of the people in this industry are just servicing their own ego. Be it the makers, be it the directors, be it the actors, they are only servicing their ego. I think it's high time everybody should get down from their high horses come to the ground and start reinventing because the world is changing. We need to accept it. It's very simple.
Absolutely. Vikramji, do you want to add anything?
They've said it all so beautifully.
I agree.
So happy hearing all of this.
No, but I think, like you all said, I think we'll get there. Right now, we are all lost, but eventually we'll find our way. But thank you so much, because I think Chhorii 2 will pave that way. Hopefully, there'll be more brave choices in the future. But thank you so much for this chat.
Thank you very
and
much.
all the
Thank
very
you.
best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.